Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of HCAM Sports Talk. I'm Tom Nappy. We got Steve Watson here. We're going to be talking some Ashland Legion baseball, and also we'll be talking about these guys, the Worcester Bravehearts in the Futures League. There's some local ties there. So we're going to have some fun on this edition of HCAM Sports Talk Live. But first, we're going to get to the recap of the Ashland Legion season. We start off with their playoff run. Here's a look at what happened in the Zone 5 playoffs. Ashland Legion baseball finished the regular season with 10 wins and 2 losses and clinched the number 1 seed in the Zone 5 playoffs. Ashland battled 4th-seeded Hudson in a win-or-go-home semifinals game at Mahan Field in Natick. Hudson led 3-0 until the bottom of the third. Gets away from the catcher. Here comes a run. And he's safe. Luke Herter scores on the wild pitch.
That was closer than I thought it was going to be.
Am I?
No, not you. Sylvester.
Well, there's a hit by Matt Neal, and a runner from third being sent around. Farrell will score, and now they have Matt Neal caught in a pickle. He's going back towards first. Now he's going to go towards second. Now another run's going to score in the meantime, and Neal's still in the pickle, and they get him out, but Post 77 ties the game.
That was smart base running to stay in that pickle just long enough so Dusty could score. It was a poorly executed rundown, but great base running by Dusty. Post 77 ties it up and adds more in the 4th inning.
And this is a rocket up the third base line. That'll get through. Cowern being waved around. Here he comes. And now heading over to second is Ibbotson. And he has an RBI double, and Post 77 leads it 4-3. Significant lead by Ibbotson as this is hit up the left side. Ibbotson being waved around. The throw in is not going to be in time, and Post 77 leads it now by 2. An RBI single by Luke Herter, who advances the second on the throw in. Lineup and the pitch. And this is a rocket up the third base line. That gets through. Here comes one run, another run right behind him, and he will score as well. A 2 RBI single for Mason Dushney. Luke Herter and Nick Calabrese are plated. 4 more runs in the inning. Post 77 up 7-3, and they add another run in the bottom of the 5th. Story looks at third. And this is up the middle. It is gloved by the shortstop. Kavanaugh going to try to score. Now they have the runner going to third in a pickle. They'll get him out. And now they'll throw to second. And they'll get 2 outs out of it. A run did score, but Post 77 taking a few too many risks there. But they have an 8-3 lead. Ashland would end up taking the game and advanced to take on Natick in the Zone 5 finals. The next night in the Zone finals, Natick took a 3-0 lead into the top of the 3rd. Dawes delivers, and this is hit in the air, and that'll get down into center field. One run is going to come around to score, and here comes another run around to score, and perhaps a third run, and they will all score. A 3 RBI double by Ben Fosberg. He clears the bases. And this is hit very hard into center field towards the fence, and that is gone. A home run by Haskell. And 3 more Natick runs are going to score.
I think it's time for the hook.
Haskell absolutely crushed that ball. Natick would end up pouring on 8 runs in the inning, and they would take the game in dominant fashion by a final score of 18-2. Natick advanced to the state tournament. While Ashland will continue this week with exhibition games to close out their season, it was a rough ending for Post 77, but some great experience for the young players and the newcomers to the team. Congratulations to Coach Obid and the team on a very good season. Well, it was an unfortunate ending in the zone run for Ashland Legion. Tough loss to Natick, but they had the opportunity to compete in the Commissioner's Cup, and they captured some great wins. So without further ado, here's a look at the Commissioner's Cup recap. On Sunday, August 1st, Ashland Legion took on Newton in the zone tournament portion of the Commissioner's Cup tournament. Newton leading 6-1, heading to the bottom of the second. Ashland gets some offense going.
Dushny out of Holliston High. He's going to be retiring this year. There's a fly ball in the left center field, and that ball is going to drop up against the fence. Dawson scores. Calabrese scores. And Dushny finds himself on second base with a 2 RBI double. Like I was saying, he looked really, really strong in batting practice. There's a ball hit into right center. Ball picked up. Dushny gets to home. Another run for Ashland 77.
A 6-4 Newton lead, heading to the bottom of the third, and the Ashland Bats get going again. That throw from the catcher didn't allow him to do so.
Newton's infield coming in all the way on the grass to cut down any run at the plate. And there's a ground ball, and that's up the middle. Scoring is Radcliffe, and Larry Tang comes in to score the tying run. 6-6, locked up in a tie ball game. Larry Tang doesn't move too bad for a big kid. Bavaro is playing close to the cut of the grass. There's a ground ball into left field. Herder scores easily. Sammy Farrell picking Newton apart right now. The gap. Sam Farrell could easily score from first base. Calabrese at second base. There's a fly ball in the center field, and that ball's going to get down. Calabrese scores. Sammy Farrell scores. Lang cuts it off, and there's a double for Matt Neal. I told you Sam Farrell would score from first base on a double. Wasn't even close.
It was a 9-7 Ashland lead, heading to the bottom of the fifth, but Post 77 added some more security.
The runner could almost walk in. He says, yeah, I know, I saw it. I gave him a signal. There's a ground ball, and that's through the shortstop and the third baseman, and that plates a run. Base hit for Sammy Farrell, run scored by Nick Calabrese. There's a ground ball slowly hit by the third baseman, and there goes Sammy Farrell. Over at shortstop. There's a ball hit into right field. That's going to get down. In comes Donovan to score. 2 more runs. It's 13-7. Ashland Post 77.
Owen Radcliffe having quite the day at the plate.
Yeah. Wow.
Ashland would take the game 14-8 and advance on to the Zone 5 semifinals. Ashland battled Lowell in the semifinals of the Commissioner's Tournament, which took place at Hudson. Post 77 added a pair of runs in the bottom of the third.
There's a fly ball in the left center field. Center fielder going back for that one, and that is going to be off the fence. Neal going to try for 3. Throw to cutoff man. He's going to have to eat it. Ball is overthrown. There's nobody at the home. Well, there was a little calamity of errors there. There's a base hit in the right center field. Oh, no. That was a great catch. I thought that ball was dropping, but sacrifice fly works, scores Kavanaugh. Sorry about that, you folks at home. I thought that ball was going to drop.
All right, dude, that was a great catch, though.
Yeah.
A 2-0 lead heading to the bottom of the 4th. Set to deliver. And this is tattooed over to left field to the fence, and it'll roll all the way to the fence. Here comes 1 run in to score. Farrell flying down the third base path. He is in, and that is going to be a 2 RBI double for Matt Neal. Post 77 adds 2 more. Lowell responded with 2 of their own in the 5th, and Post 77 held a 4-2 lead heading to the bottom of the 6th.
Swing away, jump at it, and that'll score the run. Give the RBI to Cowan.
Ashland adds another run and put Lowell down to their final 3 outs.
Quite a double play by Lowell to get out of the bottom of the 6th.
Look at a 1-2-3.
Ooh. And he strikes out. It falls out of the catcher's glove. They call him out. 1 away. Here's the 2-2. And this is hit in the air, right side, and it is caught for the out. 2 away, Lowell down to their final out.
Dom Kavanaugh gets the first 2 outs, but had to come out due to pitch count rules. Max Dushny closes it out, and Ashland wins 5-2 and advances to the Zone 5 sectional finals in the Commissioner's Cup tournament.
Yeah, definitely wanted to end this rivalry on a good note. After years of battling with them, they're always close games, they're always tough games. So to end this one on top is extra sweet tonight.
Absolutely, and you guys seem to have a lot of fun out there. What's it been like playing with this group?
This group is weird, man. I'm not gonna lie. Couple characters, definitely not the same team as past years, but at the end of the day, I love these boys, love playing with them. So I'm glad we got the win today. I'm glad we're ending the season on a high note.
And after a tough loss against Natick in the state tournament, you must, or the zone tournament leading to the states, you must be happy to have this Commissioner's Cup and get some more games under your belt, especially with the shorter season this year.
Yeah, definitely. This season felt kind of rushed in a weird way, but these last couple of games, especially because we're finding our rhythm, finding a groove. Definitely great to have these games to play, and hopefully tomorrow ends the same way as tonight.
All right. So you couldn't face the last batter. I believe it was a pitch count issue.
Yeah.
That must have been a little heartbreaking not being able to finish it.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's the way she goes, I guess. But I'm just glad we got the win at the end of the day.
All right. Well, congratulations on a great performance out there, and best of luck in the zone championship part of the Commissioner's Tournament.
Yeah, we dropped 2 to them in the regular season, so it feels good to finally get one against them this year.
And what's it been like playing with this group this season?
It's been fun. It's my first year. You can really tell everyone cares about each other. It's been a lot of fun this last year.
And Dom Kavanaugh had a great performance on the hill tonight. Could you talk about his performance?
It's kind of his last dance, He's going off to college tonight, and he really put it on the line for our team, and just proud of him.
Oh, definitely. They've had our number all year. And we sort of talked after the Natick game in the district final, which was a frustrating loss, probably the worst game I've seen us play in years. And it was just about getting back to what makes us us, and that's just having fun playing baseball, being loose, enjoying it. We're an old team. We're going to lose like 9 guys. We have 7 freshmen in college. So a lot of these guys, they're not playing baseball again after this. This is really it. And so this was an important game for them. We just wanted to go out, finish the season the right way, get a couple character wins. And they did that tonight over a really good team. So.
And Dom had quite an impressive start on the mound. Can you talk about his performance?
Yeah, so going into it, I had Nick Calabrese penciled in as the starter because Dom's leaving for college tonight. So he has to report tomorrow for college football. So he drove back from his family vacation at the Cape a little early, pulled into the parking lot 15 minutes before the game. I had to change up the lineup card. And this is the last baseball game he's realistically ever going to play. And it was just like, hey, leave it all out there. And he did. He pitched one of the best games I've seen him pitch. He was great at the plate. It was good to see him play one last time, though, because he's been a 4-year guy with us who's meant a lot to this team. I've got to know him really well as a kid. And he's a great, great guy, great athlete. And that shined tonight. So.
Absolutely. He's been fun to follow throughout the last few years and been a tremendous contributor to the team. Matt Neal had quite a performance at the plate, going 3 for 4. Can you talk about his performance?
Yeah, Matt Neal, he missed like 2 games in like the early end of the season. And since he got back is just absolutely smoking baseballs. I mean, in the last 2 days, he was 4 for 4 yesterday, 3 for 4 today. Yesterday he had a pair of doubles and a triple. Today he had a double and a triple. I think he's at like 9 RBIs in the last 2 games. He's seeing the ball really well. He's smoking it. He's a great player. He plays with a lot of passion. It's fun to see.
Ashland took on Natick in the Zone 5 finals in the Commissioner's Cup tournament. The Bats got going in the first inning.
Field hockey?
I believe he plays hockey. And this is rocketed over to left center, and that is going to drop for a hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Farrell, and now a 3rd run going to try to score. Cowern's in, and it is a 3 RBI double for Kevin Balowitz. A 3-0 post-77 lead.
You bring him down and he just hits.
After the 3 runs in the first inning, some great pitching and defensive plays from both teams prevented any further runs from scoring. Ashland took the win 3-0. Unfortunately, despite qualifying for the state portion of the Commissioner's Cup tournament, Ashland had to withdraw due to the fact that too many of their players are heading off to college or to join their AAU teams. We caught up with some of the last-year players at the end of the game. Ashland finishes with a record of 15 wins and 3 losses overall.
Season. It was a lot of fun. The boys really came together, and although it wasn't the season we wanted, we had a lot of fun and went on a high note with tonight. So it was a great season. A lot of fun.
All right, and what's next for you?
I'm going back to St. Mike's in the fall. I was a freshman there, so going back there in the fall and see how things go. Yeah, should be a good year.
All right. Well,
thank you. Thank you for a good year.
Thank you. All right. How'd you enjoy playing with this group this year?
It was fun. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. We had a lot of fun. We won. We lost. We played.
That's a good description.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's next for you?
I'm going back to Worcester Polytechnic. I'll be a sophomore.
Ooh. All right.
It was fun. It was my first year, so really enjoyed it. Tough year, you know.
Are you back next year with Legion, or?
Maybe. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, what's next for you? Anything athletic-wise?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to Salve, Regina, play with Brandon. Yeah.
Playing this year was a lot of fun. You know, we got plenty of hard-working guys that just pushed me to succeed, and I was proud to call my teammates all this year.
And what's next for you?
I'm going to Penn State to be a freshman next year.
All right. Well, best of luck at Penn State.
Thank you.
I mean, it never really gets old. Like, there's never a shortage of fun and like meeting new people. I mean, I thought I was gonna know the crowd, but you always meet new people. Like I met Neil, Herder, CC. That's just looking around over there. I mean, you meet friends for. I mean, Dom, like that's a big one. Like close with that kid. So it's always special. We have fun.
All right, was there anyone you didn't like?
Obes is getting old, honestly. It's been a while with Obes. From wiffle ball, like, what grade? 4th? Obes was in 4th grade. I met him playing wiffle ball, backyard.
Absolutely dusted him in wiffle ball.
Thank you, guys. I'll be back next year. I'll be starting at Nichols College next year, playing baseball and studying business.
This was my 3rd and final year with Coach Obes. It's been a pleasure playing with all these guys all my life, so I'm going to miss them, but it was a good way to end it.
And what's next for you?
I'm going back to Clark University in the fall, playing baseball there. Should be good.
So much fun as always. This is my 3rd year on the team. So much fun to be able to get some new guys here, and then also continue to play with the guys who have been on the team for 3 years. It's just been a blast. This is it for my baseball career. So, overall, so thankful, to have had the opportunity to bet on, 7s for the past 3 summers.
All right, so what's next for you?
Going to be a sophomore at Fairfield, but involved in other things, and I think time to move on in life. But overall, again, enjoyed my time here, and so grateful to be for 3 great summers and all the relationships developed.
I enjoyed it a lot. This was my 3rd year, so I played with most of these kids for the past 3 seasons and never gets old. So a lot of these kids I played with starting at 8 years old. So it's sad it's coming to an end, but there's never a dry moment. Always having fun.
All right,
it's a good way to end it.
Absolutely. What's next for you?
I'm going to Virginia Tech this fall.
That's terrific. And how's the leg holding up?
It's holding up, doing its thing. It's getting better, but gonna get a lot better moving forward too.
Well, it looked like it held up very well out there today.
Yeah, it did.
All right, well, congratulations on a great season, and we certainly enjoyed watching you play.
Thank you.
So how was it coaching this group this year?
Yeah, it was an interesting year for sure. Definitely a rushed season, sort of thrown together. I mean, paperwork was done in like a day. Like, it was very, very rushed, and it was weird with the 2 sets of playoffs. It was tough to get in a rhythm, definitely at the start, but I think honestly, unfortunately, after the loss to Natick in the district final, we flipped a switch, started cleaning up a lot of mistakes and playing our best baseball. So it's a shame it has to end now, but I mean, it's fun as always. We've had a lot of these guys for multiple years, and they've made great contributions. So it's great. I mean, I enjoy coming to the field every day for practice, just everything with these guys. I'm going to miss a lot of these kids a lot.
All right, well, it must feel good to end on a high note with a win here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Good to go out that way, especially the team that beat us and knocked us out of the playoffs earlier, and kind of a bittersweet ending. As Jake said, hard to not have it be when it really mattered and would have gone to the state tournament, but good way to end it nonetheless.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we had a 17-4 season and it still was kind of depressing ending, but it was still a lot of fun, and I know the boys learned a lot and had a great time. So.
Well, it was certainly not a normal season. I'd say you guys did a great job. Can we expect you all back next year, coaching?
We're gonna hope so. We hope so.
We hope
I
so.
mean, I'm making the transition that Andrew just made. Just graduated school. Gonna be working full time. Gonna be living in Boston. So it'll be a little tougher. But I mean, my plan is to do everything I can to come back, to try and stay as long as I possibly can. I mean, I'm like kind of addicted to coaching this team, so I might end up just quitting my 9 to 5 before I quit. So
There's been a lot of work put into this team since Jake and I graduated high school. It'd be a shame to just walk away. So I think we'll both be as involved, and hopefully Grover, as he plays baseball, will be as involved as possible. But
yeah,
I think we'll put it together.
Yeah. And even, I mean, Tom, you've been here since the early days. We were talking back there, just for this group especially, seeing how a 17-4 season was a disappointment just shows how far this program's come. I mean, you have filmed games where you probably had a tough time saying positives about the team. So this program's came a long way. This team's came a long way. Like Andrew said, we don't want to throw that away. We want to try and stay involved. I'm excited about the future. It's going to look a lot different, but different's not necessarily a bad thing. So excited about it.
Yeah, this program certainly has come a long way. Were you going to say something?
Oh, no. That's it.
Yeah, this program certainly has come a long way, in large part because of this group right here. Congratulations on a great year, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Tom.
All right, so Tom Nappy here with Steve Watson. Steve, you had the opportunity to get to some Ashland Legion games and help us out this summer. and you did a great job as always.
Thank
you. Quite a team they had this year. It wasn't as good as last year's team, I'd say, but there were some very talented players, and they had very strong hitting. It was a pretty fun season for Ashland Legion.
It was, like I said, not quite as good as last year, or for that matter, 2019 either. So it's still very strong, though. There's most teams who would die to be as good as that.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
But very, very strong. It fell a bit short against Natick. Natick was very good this year. They've been good in past years, too. But,
Yeah.
Stronger this year than past.
Yeah, Natick, they were pretty young last year, and they were just at the beginning of getting good, I guess you could say. And this year, they put it all together. I mean, they had a lot of good glimpses last year of what they could potentially be.
Yes.
But this year, they put it all together, and they had a very solid state tournament run as well.
Yeah. Because remember, last year, of course, there was no Legion, so they did the spin-off league, kind of.
Right.
Ashland and Natick were both mixed in with most of the usual Zone 6 teams. The only two from Zone 5 who competed were Ashland and Natick.
Yes.
And I believe it was, the first week of the year? It was Ashland at Natick, and Ashland just absolutely mauled them. You could tell Natick was kind of young, but they were improving.
Yep.
And they did, because after that game, they were very good.
Well, one thing that Ashland and Natick always do is whenever they meet up, they always play at Mahan Field, even if it's an Ashland home game, because, I mean, you can't beat Mahan Field.
Oh, it's a great setup. You got lights, you got scoreboard, concession stand, press box, you got stands on both sides, you got plenty of parking. All the stuff you could ever want is right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the concession stand wasn't open because of COVID, I guess, but they did have pretty good hot dogs last year. So,
of course, you'd mention the hot dogs.
Absolutely. But yeah, that was unfortunate, and we didn't have the opportunity to use their beautiful press box because it was limited people allowed in there.
Right,
but all is well. It was good to be at Mahan Field for a number of games this season, including the Commissioner's Cup final game, which you just saw. And Ashland, they qualified for the state portion. They actually won the zone portion. Natick was going to get in anyhow, so Ashland was already a lock after that win against Lowell. But unfortunately, they just didn't have enough players to go to states since they had a number of players going off to college. They had a few players going away on vacation, which I certainly can't blame them because a lot of these kids, they went straight out of high school baseball right into Legion.
Yeah, and there's some who even before that went from football, because the spring season this year, football into baseball into summer baseball. So
that's a long summer of baseball.
Very jam-packed. School starts up again in a few weeks, and you gotta have some downtime to kind of recharge the batteries for next year. So, and typically, Tom, the Legion is all wrapped up by this time.
Yep.
So this start was kind of late. So unfortunate for Ashland, they couldn't field enough players. But as Coach Belichick would say, it is what it is.
Right. It is what it is. But one thing that Coach Obid said to the team when they got to Natick, or I believe it might have been in Lowell, I forget. But anyways, he pretty much said, "Hey guys, this is it. This is the last run we're gonna have. We're probably not going to the States, but let's take the zone title and have some fun out there." And I don't think he could have said it any more perfectly.
Have fun, they did.
Yep, they certainly did. They had a great run. They started off with that wild game against Newton where they were down 6-1, came back and ended up winning it 14-8. And then a great game against a Lowell team that started off the season slow but really picked it up as the season went on and actually beat Ashland a couple times during the season. And Dom Cavanaugh, that was his last game because the next day he had to go off to college to UNH for football. So this was his last game, and he came back, as you heard Coach Obid say earlier in the recap segment, he came back early, about 15 minutes before the game from his vacation, and Coach Obid wasn't even sure who was starting. And Kavanaugh shows up, and I think Coach Obid was very relieved at that. He was going to have Nick Calabrese pitching, who's not really an experienced pitcher, so that was going to be interesting. But Dom showed up, and he was able to pitch one last game, probably the last baseball game he'll ever play. And what a performance he had in that game. That was his pitching performance of the season, without a doubt.
He spun an absolute gem. 107 pitches, just one batter short of a complete game. Had to be pulled because of the glorious pitch count rules in Legion Ball.
Yeah, for the last batter. You know, in the interview too, I asked him. It must have been disappointing not being able to get that one last out and have the complete game on your record. But you know, he had the Belichick line back. He goes, "Yeah, I was, but it is what it is."
Yeah, it is what it is. Not much you can do about it. And,
Right.
We had, of course, some fireworks in that game, whichever inning it was, that the little coach got tossed out, and
Yep.
that whole thing. So they were none too pleased.
No, they weren't.
Several calls out there.
Yeah, there was a couple of iffy calls for sure.
Yeah, the one down at third, we couldn't really see. We were kind of blocked out. I'm not sure what happened on that, but they were none too happy over that.
Yeah, I can't blame him. And yeah, I don't know what the little coach said to the ump, but it didn't really seem like he did enough to get thrown out. I thought, but who knows? I mean, if he might have said something insulting, or I don't know what he did, but he didn't seem like he was screaming at the guy or anything.
Yeah, they were on their second base, so it's tough to tell what was said really. But yeah, that's none of those things. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. You know.
You know, it's funny. Whenever we're in Hudson, something crazy happens at those games.
Yeah, much like 2 years ago, there was some fireworks between a few different parties.
Yep.
And just, I don't know, that field seems to be like a magnet for craziness.
Yes. Yes.
Not sure what it is.
And it's usually a pretty entertaining game down there as well.
Yeah, some hard hits, too. Even 2 years ago, you had Lawrence Tang absolutely smash one.
Yep.
I think it may have hit the fence. I can't remember.
I think it did, actually.
And he had a few in the game.
I thought it was a home run initially. I called it gone.
Yeah, and there's a few in the game on
like,
Monday that were absolutely smoked.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yep. It was a very entertaining team with the amount of offense they produced,
Yes.
that's for sure.
Lots of runs.
Yes.
If you like high-scoring games, you're in the right place.
And I know when I was away during the season, you were at one of the games, and it was like 95 degrees out, and there was a ton of runs scored.
Yes, I think it was about 95. Well, it might have been 98, but at that point, what's the difference? I think it was 17-5 in only 5 innings.
Wow.
It was a mercy rule shortened game. Yeah. The score sheet was very messy.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Would they bat around like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah,
in that
something
game?
like that.
Craziness. But I think, that was one of the problems, I guess, with Ashland Legion this year. They had decent pitching, but they didn't have enough good starts. So there was a lot of runs in these games, and they would get pretty crazy. And I guess the great thing about this team, though, their bats were unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
That whole lineup was just hitting.
Yeah, the pitching not quite as strong as years past. In years past, you could roll out 5 starters and be good.
Yeah.
They didn't quite have that this year.
Yep, but it was an entertaining team, to say the least.
Yeah.
And we certainly hope Coach Obed is back. He said it during the recap segment that he plans on coming back. He's not 100% because he's graduating college, and he's moving to the Boston area, and he got himself a full-time job now. So he is hoping to be back, though. He did say, I'll probably be back. I love coaching this team too much not to be. Yeah. So we hope he's back to coach some more. He's a great coach.
Yes.
And it's been fun to watch him go from a key player on the team to the head coach.
And not many losses in his 3 full years.
Yeah, I believe he's 51-12 or something like that.
Only 4 losses this year. The team last year only lost 3. And the year before that, they didn't lose many either. So I'd say probably no more than 12.
Yeah, I think it was 12 because I was adding it up the other day. And actually, you can find that information on HCAM.tv on the story where we have the recap package, which if you missed it on the show, go back to HCAM.tv, our website, and check it out. It is a great recap package. 19 minutes of Ashland Legion baseball entertainment, some great interviews in there as well. So check out that package. But yeah, Coach Obed, he has been tremendous. And, based on the way he played the game and his leadership on the field, we probably should have known it's not really going to be a tough transition for him to coach a team.
No, and he's done a great job. He's coached 3 teams now.
Yep.
3 years, and all his teams have been very, very good.
Yeah, he's a great leader.
Yep. I think you can say he was a natural born.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was a very fun season, and next year, as Coach Oben said, the team's going to be very different. They're losing a lot of guys, but they will have some good returning players, and some of the players that started coming up towards the end of the year, like Matt Neal, and there was a couple other guys that looked really good as the season went on, and they also that catcher Herter. He was another guy that came on strong at the end of the year as well. But there's some players on this team that will be back next year, hopefully, to be excited about for sure. And of course, our good friend Louis Dennison will be back.
Of course, and it should be on a more normal time frame in the normal structure.
Well, we're hoping. We're hoping.
Well, this day and age, you never know, but it should be.
Yes, we'll knock on some wood to that. All right, well, we got a few minutes left. We want to talk a little bit about the Futures League. And by the way, if you're ever looking for some great baseball, and it's still going on now, I think the season ends in the end of next week or the week after?
It ends on Friday the 13th.
Ah, everybody's lucky day. So the season's coming to an end, but you'll have the playoffs coming up. And they do some best-of-3 series in that. Top 4 teams go. And one team that we've looked at a lot is the Worcester Bravehearts. A lot of local ties on that Braveheart squad.
Yep, and as you said, a lot of local ties. Some even who played for Post 77.
Right.
So
yes, Alex Amalfi.
Alex Amalfi's on the team.
And then there's a couple. Isn't the coach from Milford?
Yep.
Yeah, Dion, right?
Alex Dion.
Yep.
Yeah, who's a teacher and a coach over at Milford High School. He's the manager of the team. So he's been doing a fantastic job up there. You have some ties from Post 77 with the team. So it's good. It's good to see a lot of local ties.
Yeah, it's really good baseball. And for those that don't know, it's essentially college players that are serious about pursuing baseball beyond college. And you get a lot of scouts down there watching these games. And there's been a lot of players out of this league that have been drafted.
Yeah, it's the same concept as the Cape Cod League, which I'm
Right.
sure most of you viewers have heard of. This league, the Futures League, mixes in more D2 and D3 players, along with many D1.
Oh, there's a few D1 guys for sure.
Yes, and I believe the rule is with this league that half of the roster has to be from New England or go to school in New England.
Ah.
So hence why you see a lot of local ties.
Yes. And there's also a number of players. I mean, I saw some guys from the Dominican Republic in this league.
Yes.
There was guys from Florida, California, Georgia. They come from all over.
A lot of talent.
Yep, certainly is. And the Worcester Bravehearts are 28 wins, 30 losses, right on the cusp of a playoff seed. But they got Westfield, who just beat them pretty bad the other day, breathing down their neck.
Yes. We were at that game, and
that was a long game.
The score was 7-5 after 7, Worcester.
Yep.
The final score was 18-10, Westfield.
Yeah.
So, without going on for too long, I think you can figure out how the last 2 innings went.
It was an entertaining game.
It was. I think the Bravehearts hit 4 home runs.
Yeah,
So-
it was such a bummer because Worcester tightened it up, bottom of the 8th.
Yep.
And then they went into the 9th, and Westfield scored like 8 runs in the top of the 9th.
8 runs in the 9th, yep.
That was pretty brutal.
Yep.
You were at least hoping for like an entertaining bottom of the 9th where there was a chance.
Right. And in this league, they played the 10th inning as normal, and then they do a home run derby if it's still tied.
I would love to see that.
I've seen it one time. It's really good.
Hopefully the next game we go to, we'll see a home run derby. That must have been cool.
Very cool.
Do you remember how many home runs were hit?
That one, this was 4 years ago. There's a lot hit.
Really?
There's a kid named Zach Tower. He played for the Bravehearts before 2017, then went to the Wachusett Dirt Dogs.
Ah.
And he hit a ton of home runs in that home run derby.
That's a great rule. Major League Baseball should consider something like that.
Rob Manfred, if you're listening, do the home run derby.
Seriously. I mean, everybody loves a good home run derby.
Yes, and that way you don't have games dragging on for 18 innings and ending at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Just throwing it out there.
Because most games are during the week, and people got to work the next day.
Exactly.
They
And
don't-
home run derby is something different. And you think about hockey, he's been doing the shootout for all this time.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't baseball consider doing the home run derby?
Yeah, I'd say play the 10th inning as normal.
Yeah.
And then maybe the 11th or 12th inning, home run derby.
Home run derby. And none of this runner on second nonsense.
Right.
No, 10th is normal, then home run derby.
Yep. They should consider that for sure.
Yes.
Looking for ways to make the game more entertaining, there you go. Or you could do some like 3-on-3 baseball.
You'd have a ground.
Yeah, you'll have it inside the park home run. And
on a ground ball to third.
Yep. That would be entertaining, though.
It would be. It'd be hysterical.
You have like one outfielder, one infielder.
You can make a comedy reel.
It'd be great. There we go.
A pitcher, a catcher, and a fielder. That's it.
You have the pitcher, catcher. No, we'll have one infielder too, so we'll make it 4-on-4.
Okay, 4-on-4.
All right, because you gotta have somebody that can run over to first base. So there we go. I think you'll get the games over a lot quicker. People will definitely be interested in it. I mean, what's more interesting than that? Who knows? Maybe one day if their ratings keep dropping.
Yeah.
I do like the rule they're doing, though, in Major League Baseball where they have a guy on second base. They do that right in the 10th inning. You get an automatic runner at second base.
Yeah.
I do like it. It makes it interesting. It adds a little, a thing in there for those extra inning games. It's better than nothing. I think it's better than nothing. I think, maybe play the 10th inning normal and then go to the guy on second, but
I'd rather see the home run derby route.
Oh, yeah, a home run derby. I think that's the best solution.
Yeah.
Or 10th, 11th inning, you start with the runner on second, and then 12th inning home run derby.
Yeah.
You could throw them all in there.
So you gradually build up to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or each inning you do something. And then after the home run derby, if it's still tied, 4-on-4.
We got it all mapped out here.
Yes. Yep. Well, believe it or not, that is about all the time we have. So, Steve, thanks for coming on and chatting with us, and thanks for your hard work all season long.
You got it.
And right now, we are going to play our interview that we did recently with the new head coach of the Hopkinton Hillers football team. Here's a look at that interview as football season. It is coming in quick, and we'll have a whole lot more football talk coming up on the very near future episodes of this program, HCAM Sports Talk. But without further ado, here's the interview, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by the new Hopkinton Hillers varsity football head coach, Mark Sanborn. Mark, how are you?
Doing well, Tom. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm doing well. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a very exciting time. Very grateful for the opportunity, and I can't wait to get going. It's right around the corner.
Now, for those that don't know, you have a lot of experience with Hillers sports as far as coaching. Can you talk about your experience coaching and also what led up to this point of you becoming the new varsity football head coach?
Yeah, absolutely. So I teach here at the high school, and coaching is what ultimately got me hooked into teaching. I volunteered with the football program for 2 years, and I fell in love with it instantly. I loved working with the kids, and I decided I was kind of at a point in my life where I wasn't sure what career path I wanted to do, and I loved coaching. And I was like, why not teach as well? So I was lucky enough to get an opportunity here to both coach football, and now I teach here. Two of the best decisions I've made in my life. In addition to football, I also coach JV baseball as well as middle school basketball. And I kind of have a wide experience as it pertains to football. I've been a volunteer assistant. I've been the head freshman coach. I've been the head JV coach. I've ran special teams before. So a lot of different experiences in a lot of different sports. I've had a lot of great mentors and resources along the way, and felt like the right time to kind of jump into this opportunity. And like I said, I'm very excited to get going.
Absolutely. I think you're going to be great, especially considering all that experience that you already have under your belt. So what are some of your goals for the Hillers football team while you're the head coach? Is there anything that you'd like to accomplish?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking over the past week since I've received the job. The big thing right now is just focusing day to day Meeting with the players tomorrow for the first time. Very excited for that opportunity. We're going to start our weightlifting schedule next week. So just taking it one day at a time, focusing on the small things, taking care of those little details, not worrying about who we're playing week 1 or who we're playing week 2, just worrying about having a great meeting tomorrow, getting the kids in the weight room starting next week, just the opportunity to be together as a team. And then from there, just build a strong culture and set expectations and hold the players accountable, hold the coaches accountable, and just make sure that they, as well as the coaches, are doing everything to represent the program in the right way on and off the field, and using the game of football as a way to teach lifelong skills. And I firmly believe that. I think football is a great teacher of life, and our goal is to instill those attributes and those characteristics and those values in our players. And like I said, just play hard and play with great attitude and just respect your opponents, respect everybody you interact with. But like I said, just focusing on day to day and just setting that foundation is kind of the short-term goals.
Well, I've always been a firm believer that a lot of life lessons can be learned from playing sports while you're in school.
Absolutely.
I have to ask, so this past spring we had football.
Yep.
Because of the pandemic, the season was moved to April. What was it like coaching during that time frame? You were one of the assistant coaches, of course. But what was it like coaching during that time frame? And how did everything go for the team in general? Did they have trouble adjusting, or do you think they adjusted pretty well?
Yeah, it was definitely a change to what normally occurs. Usually you start football at the end of summer, and then you kind of progress in the fall. This year we started football basically like in the middle/end of winter. Thankfully, we were able to get the turf field plowed, so we had a place to practice and play a lot of our games throughout the season. But it was definitely an adjustment. I mean, we hopped right into the season, and I think we had 2 weeks of practice, and then we had a scrimmage, and then we played our first game like the following week. So, like I said, it was an adjustment. It was great to give those seniors an opportunity just to be together. And we only played 5 games, but that was better than nothing. And you think about going back to when the whole pandemic started and having the spring season taken away, the summer, a lot of summer sports taken away, and then the fall football was taken away. Just having anything at all last spring was beneficial for the players and for the coaches, because I love coaching, and not having the opportunity to coach for about a year was pretty tough. So it was an adjustment. It was a very odd season. It went by very quick. But it was fun to play other teams and see the seniors get a chance to play some football games. And we did a senior night and everything. So it was fun.
Yeah, it certainly was a very odd season. It was a little different for me as a broadcaster going from basketball and hockey into football. Usually it's vice versa. So with this new varsity football head coach job, are you going to continue your baseball coaching as well?
Yeah, as of now, I'm going to continue with basketball and baseball. We'll see how things go. I know this position in particular is very time consuming. There's a lot that goes to it. Like the past week or so, I've just been day in, day out, talking with potential coaches, communicating with the kids, getting inventory and equipment stuff ready. And during the season, it's day to day as well. And then in the off season, weightlifting and fundraising, all that stuff. So it's basically a year-round job, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And we'll kind of make a decision, I think, on the other sports in the near future.
Yeah, you'll certainly have your hands full, that's for sure. But if anyone can handle it, it's you. Could you talk about some of the you've worked with a lot of great coaches, Will, at Hopkinton. Can you talk about some of the great coaches that you worked with and the impact that they've had on you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great question, because over the past week, the amount of support that I've received from a lot of the coaches here at the high school, the administration, our AD has been fantastic. But in particular, I look at the coaches I played for when I was a student here at Hopkinton. I played for Coach Simos as a player. I played for Coach Keene on the basketball team. I played for Coach Golden in both the basketball and the baseball programs. And having those guys in the school and being able to bounce ideas off of them and just know that I had their support throughout the whole process, it's just been so refreshing and has given me even more confidence to pursue this position. And I've just been able to pick a lot of great things that they do in their programs. And I'm looking forward to taking those things and taking the culture and being good teammates and be respectful and thinking about using sports as like a free practice for life, because that's really what it is. There's a lot bigger issues in the world than the football game that we're playing on a Friday night. So I cannot be more appreciative of the coaches I've had to work with and play with. And the experience that they provided me as a player and as a coach now is why I jumped at this opportunity, because I want to offer that same positive playing experience for the football players here at Hopkinton and all the student athletes.
One of the things that never ceases to amaze me about Hopkinton High School is how good the athletic programs have been the last few years. When you look at this past spring, for example, every single team made the postseason. So it's just been great, really, across the board in every sport. So everybody wants to know, when does the season start? When do the practices start? Because I think everyone's starting to get into football mode. So give us some dates.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like as I mentioned earlier, I'm meeting with the kids tomorrow here in the athletic center. I'm very excited just to introduce myself. I know a lot of them anyways, which is a good thing. And just kind of lay out some of those dates. So moving forward, the first official day of practice is Friday, August 20th. Up until that point, we're going to we'll be lifting in the weight room 3 times a week, which is great. And that'll be with the middle school program all the way up to the varsity program. So getting the kids together, getting them working out, getting them just together as a group will be great. And then we have some skills like skills camp and skills clinics type stuff that we will do in that first week. And then, like I said, on Friday, August 20th, that'll be our first day getting out there on the practice field here at Hopkinton. And I could not be more excited. From there, we have 2 scrimmages scheduled. Mr. Cormier has done a great job of locking down scrimmages, just kind of the odd transition we've had with the coaching staff in the past couple of weeks. So we'll play Shepherd Hill on August 28th as a scrimmage, and then Grafton on September 3rd. And then we open up with Wayland, which is the first official game on September 10th. And it's always a great game against Wayland. So
I love that game. That is always a battle.
Fantastic. Yeah. So that's kind of the big dates. It's coming up quickly, about a month away. So I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be here before you know it. So as the varsity head coach, we know that you drop the X's and O's and that you work with the players in practices and stuff like that. But tell us about some of your duties that maybe people don't know a whole lot about. I believe I read that you're also responsible for finding coaches that are needed in the other football programs.
Yeah, correct. So basically, it's the head of the varsity team. You have your JV team, which kind of practices with the varsity, and then you have a freshman program in the middle school. So I'll be honest, a lot of time that I've spent over the past week is having conversations with potential coaches to fill those roles throughout the various programs. So I've spent hours and hours on the phone and talking to people in person and seeing what type of commitments I get. And we have a lot of great pieces potentially in place. But as I said, it's just going to be more placing where they're going to be. A lot of the coaches will be people who are working in the building, which I think is a fantastic thing. The kids will see them in the school. They'll be the role models, acting the way that we expect our players to act, and they'll be held accountable in school. So definitely kind of just confirming up those last couple assistant jobs, and you'll have a better idea of the coaching. But besides that, equipment is a huge thing, making sure the equipment's ready to go, making sure everything's organized. When we do equipment pickup, it goes smoothly and efficiently for all the players. Getting the practice fields ready and the on-field equipment, and all the pads and the dummies and the sleds and all that stuff. And then just like other minute stuff, and like getting apparel for the players, like t-shirt and shorts and coaching gear. And there's just a lot of different things involved. And I have a to-do list, and I'm just kind of working through piece by piece. So yeah, it's a lot, but it's exciting. And I'm looking forward to getting things going.
That's terrific. Can you give us any information about this year's team? Do we know who the captains are?
We do not know who the captains are yet. That'll be something that will be determined in the near future. But we have a great group. The senior class is a little bit smaller, but they're a great group of kids, great, talented, high character, exactly what we want out of our seniors. The junior class is a little bit bigger as well, very skilled. They have a little bit more depth as it pertains to the amount of players. And then the upcoming sophomores who were freshmen last year have a really in-depth class, a lot of players. And a lot of that's a testament to our middle school program, who's just feeding us. I think the most important thing right now is just getting kids to come out and play football, and hopefully we can provide them experience where they come out and play again. But I think we'll have a solid year, and I think the kids are going to work hard. They're going to know how to do the basics. They're going to know how to do the skills. We're going to play as a team. We're going to be tough, supportive of each other, good teammates, and I think all that stuff are really important intangibles. And like you said, the X's and O's stuff is important as well. But we just got to build that culture and hope that success is going to come down the road when we have everybody playing towards the same goal.
Absolutely. Coach, also, I wanted to ask, last year there were some incredible back and forth games, such as the game against Medfield and Westwood and Norwood. And it was all TVL large rivals, which is always going to be tough to play against. What was it like coaching some of those games that were just these crazy back and forth battles?
Yeah, football is definitely a game of highs and lows, and I've learned as a coach. I remember coming in as a young coach, you get caught up in the highs and lows of the game, and you get energetic and you get fiery. And you score and you get happy, and then your team gives up a score and you get all angry. I think it's just important to stay even keeled and have that calm demeanor because the kids feed off what the coaches are doing. But those games last year were crazy. I mean, the TVL large football is great football. There are no gimme weeks. Every week you're going to show up prepared, ready to go. And you talk about that Medfield game. I forget what the score was, but it was a high scoring game up and down the field. We have a great drive, and then Medfield come out and hit a long pass for a touchdown. It was just a great football game. And you think of Medfield, they're a great program. All the programs in the large are good programs. So you got to be ready to go every week. You got to work hard, and because you know that your opponent's working hard. So it's a fun league. It really is.
It certainly is. I've called quite a few football games during my career, and I have to say that Hopkinton Medfield game was one of my favorite ones. It's probably in the top 3.
Awesome.
But Coach, we are very excited for you, and I think they certainly found the right man for the job, and we are looking forward to this football season.
Awesome, Tom. Thank you. And I must say, too, just over the past year, what you guys have done with HCAM and streaming all the sub-varsity games, the varsity games, it's been awesome. And I know I've been involved in all those sports, so thank you for everything you're doing. We look forward to having you at the games this year, and I appreciate you having me on today. Can't wait to get things going.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach. We certainly enjoy streaming these games and allowing the community to get to see their teams play. We'll talk to you again soon. We'll certainly catch up with you during the season.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, HCAM Sports Talk airs every Wednesday at 3 p.m. We're going to have some brand new and possibly live editions coming up. So be sure to tune in every Wednesday at 3 p.m. to HCAM Sports Talk. And if that time doesn't work for you, you can always check out all of our episodes at our YouTube page, youtube.com/HCAMTV. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Be well. We'll talk to you again soon.